everyone. Welcome to another episode of Comfort on Demand. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel thus far. If you have not watched the other episodes I've published, please take out the time to go back and watch them. Again, thank you very much for watching today's episode. So straight into it. On today's episode, I'll be telling you about a concept that many people ignore in real estate. Before I get into the main gist, I would like to tell you a story. So a while ago, an agent of ours reached out to me and told me about how one of her clients was interested in buying a property from us. I was excited about it that, someone today has made up their mind to start their real estate journey. And then she called me some days later to say, the person had passed. I was in utter shock. Like, what happened? 72 hours from now, this person would have become a client of 1159 Realty. And we may not have had any information about the person except for their receipt. The receipt saying they transferred this certain amount of money to 1159 Realty, because they may not have filled the contract of sale or other documents that we sent to them upon their first installment. So I realized with the brand, we sat together and we realized that this is a problem and it needed a solution immediately. So we started to think about what the solution was, and we decided to use some of the information we have about law to come up with a solution. Some of the solutions we came with are: number one, whenever you're buying a property, make sure whomever you use as a next of kin in any of the documents you're asked to fill is someone you trust. Someone you trust that we can contact immediately there is an issue with your transaction. You must note, however, that being a next of kin does not necessarily give you the right to inherit. In other words, a next of kin is not a substitute of a will. Number two, you can make a will. Under the wills law of Lagos State, anybody that is of 18 years and above can make a will. You must note, however, that under Section 9 of the Wills Act of 1837, you have to be 21 years old to make a will. But this is one of the solutions we've come up with. We've come to tell you as young investors today that you don't have to be old and dying to make a will. That is ignorance. I understand the Nollywood scene where an old man is on his bed shaking and writing his will. That's not the case. Even as a young person today, you can write a will to say, I have this property with 1159 Realty and I want to pass it on to my brother, to my mother, or to whomever, so that all your hard work and investments does not go down the drain when you pass. As a brand, we understand that the issue of debt is a very sensitive issue, but because we have maximum integrity, we try to talk about these things so that clients can know we think about them and we are also thinking about the future. As a real estate brand, we are not with you for just the now. We are with you even after you're not here anymore. Number three, you can actually communicate 1159 Realty Legal Department to draft a will. They will execute this will upon your demise. This, however, comes with a draft fee. We hope with all our hearts that we never have to lose a client. But these are important measures that we have to put in place as a company so that we don't start looking for the owner of a property because the only contact we have is that of the person that has passed. So moving forward, I would also like to talk about the ingredients that make a valid will. This is not a law school class, but it is important that you know some things that indicate when a will is valid and when it's not. So number one, for a will to be valid, it must be in writing. Most time it's advised that the writing here is not handwritten but typed. Number two, for a will to be valid, it must be written by a person 18 years and above, and that person must be sane. So in essence, a were cannot write a will. Number three, there must be two witnesses present to make a valid will. What this implies is if there are less than two witnesses present at the time of making a will, then that will cannot be said to be valid. The testator must be present, and then these two witnesses must be present also. Number four, You must understand that for a will to be valid, a witness cannot be a beneficiary to that will. So, for example, if you are a son and your father calls you and says, "Oh yeah, Ayobami, come and help me sign this will," just have it at the back of your mind that the only thing you are inheriting after you sign that will is the biro you use to infix your signature, because you cannot inherit as a witness. These are things you have to expose your mind to while signing or witnessing a document. So guys, in conclusion, I have mentioned some elements of a valid will. This is, however, not the entire elements available to make a will valid, but I will stop here because this is not a legal advice. If you want legal advice, you can communicate the legal department of 1159 Realty or any other legal professional that you trust their abilities in these issues very much. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Comfort on Demand. Like I always say, please do everything that is convenient for you to help push this channel forward. Help us share, comment, like, and subscribe. I hope to see you in the coming weeks. Comfort on